Hello and welcome everybody. For those of you that's seen the previous versions of this, welcome back. For the people that's not seen it, a very big welcome, and I hope you enjoy what you're looking at. First of all, I'll just remind you that it was an ordinary standard plastic MN77 six-wheel drive truck, and I made a lot of modifications to it by putting all steel running gear in it, a 2-speed motor with gearbox, and also did a lot of extra wiring. Now the last version that you saw before I changed it again was down here all the wires were sticking out in a big clump and had to be plugged in simultaneously to the trailer, which I've also made some modifications to as well. So as you can probably see, that down there's a piece of circuit board and some plugs, and the only one that's left out is the radio control plug. So I'll now show you what I've done to the trailers and be back in a second or two. With the trailer, now those of you that saw it previously, it was just a straight flat bottom trailer that hooked up to the back of the truck with a small dolly plate. Well, now you can probably see I've changed it in quite a different way. I've actually made it into a swan neck, which I will show you. And also I've put raise and lower legs on it. The steel pin underneath is for the fifth wheel coupling, and the legs do work. This one also carries a battery, so you see I've lengthened it quite a bit and actually added the swan neck to it as well. So in just shortly I will show you exactly what I've done to the rest of it. Just by magic it does appear. So anyway, this is the modified first bogie for the drawbar, the fifth wheel, and also you see underneath it has now got the steel springs, bearings, everything else all mounted on, so it can rock and move as it wants to move. So that's so much that. Well, that is metal by the way as well, which hitches up to the first pin on the drive, which I will show you very shortly, and the other plugs that go into the back of the truck. Here we have the rest of it. This is all 3D printed and done. The plug that goes into the back of the truck, the radio plug, which I haven't actually marked into position of anywhere yet, it's just there temporarily. Again, you can see the legs, which is keeping it stood up. The fifth wheel coupling, the plug that goes into the trailer and again into the trailer, and then underneath again we have the steel springs. These, by the way, are plastic. The ones that came with the metal spring clips were too short. They're 5mm too short. So if you try and put them on, everything's all clamped up and run up close towards itself, and you can't see what you're doing with it, and it just doesn't work properly at all. So just bear that in mind if you buy the spring kits. So there you are. There's the fifth wheel coupling for that. Rocks both ways as normal. Now I've also added lights everywhere across it and working legs. So what I'll do now, I'll hitch it all up together and show you just how it works. Here we are. This one's all hitched up to the drawbar, the draw dolly and the low boy. That's all marked up together now, and it's all ready for connecting up towards the trailer. So if you bear with me a few minutes, I'll connect it all up to the trailer and switch everything on and then show you what it does. Right, here we are. Everything's hitched up, plugged in, ready to go. As you can see, everything's in line, ready to do. So what I will do is just show you the leg. Now this does take a little bit of time to wind up. You see it is moving. Probably hear it at the same time as well. But there it goes, up nice and steady. So that operates. I'll leave that one running and then get back to you in a second or two. It seems to, it does take a little bit of a time to go up. It's about halfway up now. Right, here we are back, and then there's the legs on the lowboy again. They do take a little bit of time to wind up, but they do go up. And there they go. Say they do take a little bit of time, but they do actually work and hold it, and just like a normal truck would do, except you don't have to stick a handle in and wind it yourself. This one's electric. So yeah, there we go, it's on its way, and I'll be back in shortly. Right, here we are guys, all lined up, ready, and now it's time to drop the ramps on the back, ready for the tank coming on. Again, you'll notice they are slow. It is almost scale speed. You can't obviously get it exactly right, but it's as close as near in as possibly can get it. So there we are, that's coming down nicely. That's ready, waiting for the tank to come, which should be along in a few minutes time. As soon as they come down, there we go, automatic shut off, up and down, so we don't have to worry about it disappearing into the ground. So, there we go, it's started up. Mounted. No problem whatsoever. Down on the lock, on the stops. Made it so it locks down on one side and doesn't lock down on the other so far. There we go. Transport, so we'll lift the legs, the ramp, everything's up except for the ramp, which is coming up now, and then we'll be off. Now I've also done some wiring modifications. You can see with all the wires it's not just the odd bit that goes in here or there or wherever. There's the tail lift, there's also all sorts of different lights on it. On the truck itself, it has a reversing light, so automatically comes on when you reverse the truck. But I've not put any on the trailers, and the lowboy or anything as such yet. Might do that in the future, but I'm not overly worried about it at the moment. So that's almost up. There we go, automatic stop. So that cannot go up any further, no matter how much it wants to. You can play with the buttons, and it won't go up. By the way, this is the turn nigger that I'm using, and these here, that's for the winch on the trailer, and that one is for the winch on the front of the truck. And all these, that's set of legs, that's for the smoke, and this is the gearbox change. That's high, that's low, and then you've got your forward, reverse. So everything's proportional. It's not just left as it is on there. So I'll be back in a few seconds and I'll show you what it does as it goes round the yard. As you can see, it pulls it perfectly easily, and that's in low gear, so there's no problem with it whatsoever. And if I want it to, it can get up to quite a bit of speed, and it can turn in fairly tight circles. As you can see, it turns around almost in its own speed. So there you have it, that's all the new modifications that I've done. The winch, by the way, on the trailer will actually pull that tank up the ramp dead weight. And the ramp on the winch on the front will pull the whole lot as it's all connected up now. If you connect that hook to a solid source. The rope on the front one, by the way, is actually steel wire rope. The one on the back one on the winch there is only nylon, but it is very, very strong, very powerful, and it doesn't seem to want to snap even pulling a dead weight of that, the weight of tank. And that's all metal gear, running gear, tracks, motors, everything. There's a lot of added stuff inside it as well for smoke and all sorts here, there and everywhere. For those of you that's not already seen the what I've done to the tank, and also the other tank that I have as well. So there you have it. If you like what you see, leave comments in the below. Nothing naughty, thank you. And hope you liked all this, and we may catch you again at a later date with some more modifications or some other sort of build. I'm never very still for very long, so there could well be something more in the pipeline at a future date. Okay, for now, thank you very much for watching. Hope you did enjoy this. You may have learned something, you may be able to teach somebody else something. But there you have it, all well and done. Thank you very much, and bye to you all.